At Argentina Crime Files, every story confronts us with a justice that leaves more questions than answers. On July 18, 1994, a devastating explosion destroyed the headquarters of the Argentine Israelite Mutual Association, AMIA, in the heart of Buenos Aires. This attack, which claimed the lives of 85 people and injured over 300, not only marked a before and after moment in the country's history, but also left a deep scar on the collective memory of Argentine society. The news shook the nation, sparking feelings of vulnerability, indignation, and distrust toward the institutions tasked with protecting its citizens. The streets filled with marches and cries for justice, even as the first signs of irregularities began to surface. From its earliest stages, the investigation was plagued by corruption. Judge Juan José Galeano, appointed to lead the case, became the center of a web of misconduct that eroded any hope for justice. In 2005, Galeano was removed for severe irregularities, but the damage caused by his actions had left an indelible mark on the process. One of the most shocking revelations was a video showing Galeano offering $400,000 to Carlos Teledon, a key suspect, to implicate a group of Buenos Aires police officers. This act of bribery not only derailed the investigation but also exposed the fragility of a judicial system permeated by interests far removed from the truth. The political and judicial environment of the time provided fertile ground for manipulation. Galeano had the backing of influential sectors within the judiciary and political system, allowing the irregularities to persist for years. Crucial evidence vanished, including security camera footage and phone records that could have clarified the roles of those involved. Key witnesses reported being pressured to alter their statements, while others chose silence out of fear of reprisals. These actions cemented the perception of a deliberate cover-up by internal state actors, further deepening public distrust. The situation took a new turn in 2006 when prosecutor Alberto Nisman formally accused the Iranian government of orchestrating the attack and Hezbollah of carrying it out. According to Nisman, Argentina had become a target of reprisal after its decision to suspend a nuclear technology transfer agreement with Tehran. This agreement, allegedly negotiated during the presidency of Carlos Menem, was reportedly halted under pressure from the United States, which sought to prevent Argentina from supplying sensitive materials. Among these materials were key components such as alloy tubes and sophisticated designs that could have been used to develop a nuclear program for military purposes. This decision generated significant discontent in Iran, which interpreted the move as a betrayal and an alignment with U.S. interests. Nisman's report not only detailed this complex diplomatic relationship, but also presented compelling evidence linking high-ranking Iranian officials to the attack. Among those accused were Iran's then-president, Ali Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani, Intelligence Minister Ali Falahian, and Revolutionary Guard Commander Mohsen Rezai. Nisman also implicated members of the Iranian embassy in Buenos Aires, alleging they had facilitated the logistics necessary for the attack. The documents presented included phone intercepts, movement records, and testimonies pointing to a meticulous operation that had both domestic and international support. Nisman also emphasized Hezbollah's operations, which had active cells in the Triple Frontier region, an area notorious for illicit activities and terrorist financing. From this region, part of the logistics for the attack was allegedly planned, including the entry of explosives into Argentine territory. It was revealed that the explosives used in the car bomb had been assembled locally with components brought from abroad, utilizing clandestine routes and established contacts in Paraguay and Brazil. According to the report, the Triple Frontier served as a strategic point enabling Hezbollah's international operatives to coordinate with local actors undetected by authorities. This operation escaped the radar of local authorities, whether due to a lack of resources, negligence, or complicity. Deficient controls in the region and poor coordination between countries allowed these cells to operate with relative freedom, exposing a glaring vulnerability in the national security system. The case took an unexpected turn in January 2015, when Alberto Nisman was found dead in his apartment hours before presenting new evidence implicating the Argentine government in an alleged cover-up of the attack. The news shocked the country and raised more questions than answers. The investigation into his death was marked by theories of suicide and murder, and to this day, it remains unclear what truly happened. What is certain is that the AMIA case, far from being resolved, became even more mired in a web of political and judicial interests, leaving victims and their families without justice. Despite the magnitude of the evidence presented, the international arrest warrants issued by Interpol yielded no results. Iran categorically denied the accusations, dismissing Nisman's report as a political tool serving foreign powers. In official statements, the Iranian government claimed the accusations were baseless and an attempt to divert attention from Argentina's internal failures. Meanwhile, the case sank deeper into a web of conflicting interests, unfulfilled promises, and enduring impunity. Judicial delays and the lack of progress only deepened the pain of the victims' families, who for years led marches and commemorative acts demanding justice. Their demands, however, clashed with a system seemingly paralyzed in the face of the truth. Every irregularity and every official silence reinforced the perception that impunity was not accidental but a consequence of a system prioritizing the interests of a few over the rights of the majority. The story of the AMIA is not just a reminder of the lives lost that fateful July 18th, but also a stark portrait of how institutions can fail when corruption and political interests take precedence. The victims and their families deserve more than empty words. They deserve a justice that, to this day, remains elusive. In a world where news fades quickly, remembering becomes an act of resistance and an unyielding commitment to the future. Nisman's death, far from providing answers, left more doubts than certainties. Suicide or murder, the real question is how much longer a society can endure without knowing the truth. We invite you to join this reflection, exploring the stories that shaped our recent history and challenging what many prefer to forget. Because sometimes, remembering is the only way to achieve justice.